Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So in today's class, we are going to be designing a social media poster with Photoshop. So let's dive down into it. Let's open our Photoshop. This is our Photoshop workspace. So the first thing we'll do is to create a new workspace, and we use our default 1080 by 1080. Great. So here, what I'll do is, since I've gone through different posters and um, different posters and inspirations I've gotten on the different platforms like Freepik, Canva, Pinterest, and the rest, and even Google. So I've seen how my design will be basically. So first of all, what I want to do is um, I want to design a digital marketing poster, a webinar poster. So first of all, come to the shapes, click on the shapes tool, click on the rectangle tool, and make a rectangle shape at the bottom. This will be like the footer of our design. Then after this, I go back to the shape tool again, right click on it, or you can just click and hold. Then I click on the clips tool. Then I'll come to the layers panel. I change this to the background. I select on the background layer. Then I click and hold on shift and drag the circle out. Click on our move tool to deselect the shape tool. And I click on the shape tool again. Click and hold on shift and increase the size of the circle. Select the move tool. Okay, I think this is okay. And what I'll do now is to go and bring our background. So sometimes this background I downloaded it from Freepik. I'll drop the link of Freepik website where I got the background from on the description. So I downloaded the background from Freepik. So what I'll do is I just go to my folder that has the background. The background. Now I've dragged the background in, I'll rotate it 90 degrees, increase the size. Now this should be okay. Now click on enter to place it. Remember, you're always working with your layers panel. In case of any mistake, you can always go back to the from with your layers panel and your history panel. In case of any mistake, you can go back. So now to send this to the back, you can click and hold on control and then the left coil brace. But if you want to do it the right way, you just come to the layers panel and drag it down. Remember, all the layers placed at the bottom will be at the back, while the ones placed on at the top will be in front in the workspace. So after we have brought this down, we go to our opacity, because this color, the background won't necessarily look like this. We have to reduce the opacity. So let's say 5%. 5% is okay. And the background is like this, so that we will now have some kind of the white won't look empty. So let's change this. Let's duplicate this circle. You can easily drag it and come down here and make a duplicate. Drag the circle and come down to the create new layer and to make a duplicate, or you click on Ctrl and J to make a duplicate, or you right click on it and click on the duplicate option here to also make a duplicate. So there are so many ways to create duplicates. But now the reason why I'm creating duplicate is I want to create a part, make one of them a stroke and the other one a fill. I said something about strokes and fill. Stroke is the outline or the border, while fill is the body of the shape. Or yeah. So now let me change one to the stroke. This one. Let's increase it to 14. And the fill should be, and the one I have the fill, I will always off the stroke. That is, put the stroke to null. And use the fill. Let's use the fill as black. Because the fill now, what we are going to do is the fill is just going to be, now for the stroke, let's off the fill. The fill is just going to be for the place we are going to clip marks our picture, because for this particular place, the picture of a model, we are going to clip marks it here. So let's come to the rectangle shape and also put off the stroke because we are working on the fill alone. So after this, what we'll do next is we go to our folder and bring in our model. And this is the picture of the model we are using. So after I've dragged it in, reduce the size and click enter. So now I can feel these circles. The circle layer, the eclipse layer is actually called eclipse in Photoshop. Eclipse layer should be above the rectangle layer, and the rectangle layer looks, yeah, this should be better. You should increase the width of the rectangle layer. So to do that, just click on the rectangle tool, and then your selected layer should be the rectangle layer. Then you increase the width here. Then click on enter to close it. And go to the move tool, click on the picture of the model, and then click on Ctrl and T to transform it. Now stretch it, drag it down to fill the circle, the bottom circle. Now what I'm going to do is the stroke. Let me just clip it. I bring the picture of the model down, and then right click on the model, create clipping marks. To create the clipping marks to the bottom part, bottom circle. So now this is not what we want. We want the ladies, we want the some part of the lady's head to come outside, because there are some designs that if you see how it is being created, the part of the model's head is always outside and the other part inside. So now let's try and create this effect. So first of all, increase the model's picture again by pressing Ctrl T. So we transform it again and increase the size a bit. Let's increase it again. So this should be okay. So if we leave it like this, it will not be as well as the normal poster we always see. So this won't be professional. So what I will advise to do is to click on Ctrl J. We make a duplicate of that layer. Ctrl J is to make duplicates. That's a shortcut for it. Or aside from that, you can just let me Ctrl Z and go back. Aside from that, you can just drag the layer and come down to the create icon. You create a duplicate of it. Now you are going to release one one of the layers from the clipping marks, release clipping marks of it, release it. Now what we'll do is make selection of this. Before that, we right click on it and rasterize. This rasterize is so that we can alter the properties like cut it out and some other properties like that. So we go to our magic wand tool. We want to select this model alone. Make selection of the model alone. We click on select subject. So it will make selection on the model alone. After I've made selection, made selection on the model alone, what we'll do is we go to select and click on invert select, or alternatively, you can always click on Ctrl Shift I to invert selection. That is to save you time. Then after it has inverted selection, we delete the part we don't want. So what I simply did was to remove the woman from the background. So we click on Ctrl D to deselect it. Now after this has been done, we come to layers panel, we locate the circle that the lady was clip marks to. This is it. We click on control and click on the circle thumbnail. That's to make a selection of that circle on the lady. After we've done this, we make the lady selection, the ladies layer active. Make the ladies layer active. Press and hold control and shift, control shift I. We choose the eraser tool, then we erase the parts we don't want. Erase the parts we don't want. If you notice, the layer that is selected is the model that was the model that the background was removed. And after we have done this, we click on Ctrl D to deselect, or we come here and deselect it. Now this is nice, this is much better, but the stroke is covering the head of the lady. That's because the stroke is on top, is the topmost layer. So we bring the stroke down to the bottom. Now this is much better. So, but I still think we should increase the size of the stroke. So you can increase the size of the stroke to what should be okay. Now this is better now. So after this, what we'll do next is click on the rectangle tool. Right click on the layer. We are going to give it like one of the blending options. Like we are going to give it a gradient overlay. So we go to the blending option. Just right click on it, go to blending options. We click on gradient overlay. And this gradient overlay, if you notice what happened at the bottom, it has added like a gradient at the bottom. Now this gradient, I used it before, it was already there, but to make it, to bring about it, is you just click on the gradient overlay. Now this is the gradient panel. So you can set your gradient here, then click it to put the color, whatever color you want. Or if you know the color code, you can easily type it or set whatever color you want here. And after you have done that, you do the same thing to the other bottom right of the slider. Set whatever color you want here. So that is, it's very easy to choose a gradient. So we right click it, we go to blending options, select on gradient overlay, and then click on OK. So now it has added a little bit of an even nice effect to our design. So now we'll bring in our logo. Let's bring in our brand logo. I don't really know where it is, so I have to search it in my laptop. Find it. So now this is our brand logo. We take it to our Photoshop workspace. Reduce the size. So whenever you are placing anything on Photoshop, make sure you always ensure bleeding. So bleeding is like keeping a little space when so that when the printer people want to print your work. Maybe take for example this poster, someone wants to print it out, they can have a little space to cut off. So now you put the brand our brand name beside the logo. Let's say we go to the text tool, we click. Now our text is actually the font is actually white. So you might not see anything. So you just come here for the characters panel. You see the different color option here. Once the text layer has been selected, the property of the text icon, sorry, the text tool is being selected. The property of the text tool is always here at the top bar. Or any tool is being selected, the property will be at the top bar. Or for the text tool, the characters panel will be here. So this is it. Or you also here the properties. So you can come here, click, change the color to black. So let's use black for now. Brand name AJE design. So this is our brand name. We'll take it to the top, and then we'll use the size again. So let's say 18. Or if you are not comfortable with that, you just come over to the size icon here. Once you hover on it, you just increase it. Use the slider to increase it. So this should be better now. And I also feel this our logo should be at the bottom. Should be a little bit lower. So you can use your notch tool, that is your notch on your keyboard. You notch it, use it to bring it down a bit. So after we have done this, now we need things to be written at the body of our poster. Go to the text tool. Now choose our text. Let's say digital design. Click on enter. Now what you do next is, if you don't want to increase the text from the font size from the characters panel, you can always click on Ctrl T on your keyboard and increase the size. That is to enable you save time, because as a designer you need to know how to work on your time management. Is very important. You need to know how to manage time. So now the font size, the font thickness, let's make it bold. Say let's make it extra bold. The font style I'm using is Poppins. You can see that you can get that font. You just go and search on Poppins font and download it. So I'll actually drop a link to where I got, so I normally get some of my fonts. You can get it on dafonts.com or 100fonts.com or Google Font actually. Google Font will give you a better font. So now we'll look for a color that matches, find a color that matches our design. So I use my color picker and I actually picked a color from the lady to know which one will match well. So now after I've done that, I use a shade of that color. Now you have seen how it looks now. This one looks much better now. So let's say we increase the size of the text again. Now, if you don't want to go to the text tool and bring another text in, you can always hold on alternate on your keyboard and drag down, duplicate the text, and then edit the duplicated text to what you want. So I'll use font size. I'll use I'll change it to medium. So let's say let me change it to semi bold. Let's write our text. So and I clicked on Control A with the text layer being selected. I clicked on Control A to select everything, and I reduce the size again. Reduce the size again. This should be okay. Now I'll change the color so that because I can't be having two same colors, and it will look like it is competing with the other one. I change the color to, let's say, blue. No, blue won't be nice. We can see it definitely. It's not going to be nice. So let's use black. Let's use black. Now it is in black. Click on OK. So you also have to enter here. So that place won't look. The bottom part won't look empty. Yeah, it won't look like it's only one text like there. So now we are going to bring in our date and our times icon. We go to I downloaded some sample. So these samples I normally get them from Freepik. So I just go to where I save them on my laptop and bring it in. I click on enter. You can always Ctrl T to transform it to the way you want. Click on enter. Then I'll go and bring in our date. So this very one, this one like this, I actually search on Freepik to get the time. So click on the polygonal lasso to make a selection around the part we want. So after we made a selection around the after we made a selection around the clock we want to copy it, then deselect it again. Deselect, then delete the layer we brought in. Then click on Ctrl V to paste it and drag it using your move tool. Change the layer to your move tool and drop it there. Then increase the size. Increase the size. So now what I'm going to do now is to make everything a transparent background. Make the clock layer in a transparent background. So I just come to magic wand to click on it, then delete the part I don't want. So I've moved the clock from the background, so from the white background, then Control D to deselect. And after I've done this, you click on Control and click the thumbnail of the clock again. So let's say we make it blue. That's with the blue being selected. To fill this clock with that blue, we click on alternate and click on backspace. Now it is being filled to blue, and the date will be the same thing. Let's rasterize the date layer. Right click on it to rasterize it. Click on Control. Click on the date layer. Alternate, hold alternate, backspace to fill it. to select. Now what we'll do next is to just put in our text tool, click on our text tool, and then click on it and write the text, the date. Let's say the date is 10th 11th September 2022, and then we select everything and come to the font size. So I always like using this slider. So once you move around the TT, the icon that represents the font size, so you can always increase the slider, and then we change the font thickness to medium. Click on our move tool back. So I think this is okay now. This should be better. Then if you don't want to go back to the text tool, as I said earlier, text tool to create another new text, you just click on alternate and click on the text and drag it down. It will just make a duplicate of the text. Make sure you arrange it properly. So double click on it. While on your move tool, you double click on it to make selection, or it will automatically change it to the move tool. To select everything. Now you change the text to the time you want. Let's say 10 p 10 a.m. 10 a.m. West African time, and 2 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So I'm just using, I don't know why I'm choosing, I chose to use Indian Standard Time, but this is way better. So for design, this looks nice. So now after we have done this, what we'll do next is to just click on the shapes icon again, then the rounded circle. So make a little round circle here. Now this doesn't look too pretty nice. What we'll do is we'll have to change it to white, the fill to white, and put off the stroke. So you can do that here, or you do that here. Do that at the properties panel, or you do that at the top. Now you click on the move tool. This doesn't really look nice. So what we'll do is you zoom in, click on your zoom tool, and then click on the part you want to zoom in. Definitely zoom it in. Then you go back to your shape, and once you make your shape tool being selected, it will show the part. Now you see these small circles at the corners. You click on them and make it a round, make it turn it to one circle. Now it will make the rounded edge to be like a circular rounded edge. Then you click on the move tool to deselect. So let's bring in our text. We just click on the text tool. After we have clicked on the text tool, we click on the outer part of, now you will not, if you notice, if you bring the text tool inside here, it will make like a circular. You have vision what's going on. It's creating a circle around the text too, and this is like a square, so we don't need that. And that circle is trying to take the um the body of the shape to make our text, which is not what we want. So let's just click on outside. Now the text we are using is join us now, and select all, press Ctrl A, then we click on the semi bold, change it back to our move tool, then bring it to the inside the circle and reduce the size. So let's increase the thickness again to bold. I think this should be okay. Now let's zoom out. So to zoom out, you just click on the zoom icon, and this is this negative zoom, the zoom option. Just change it to the negative zoom, zoom out. So alternative, you can click on alternate and minus to zoom out, or alternate and plus to zoom in. But after we have done this, we're almost done with our design. After I've done this, we just go back to where we had our resources from. We take the social media icons, bring it to Photoshop, and click on enter. So let's make a selection on the one we want. We use our polygonal lasso tool being selected. We want Facebook, we want Instagram. So let's use Facebook and Instagram. Facebook and Instagram. And also WhatsApp. Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp. So we'll copy the ones we want. After we've made the selection, we just copy the ones we want. Then deselect it, and then we delete the layer. We click on Ctrl V to paste it. And it has pasted the layer we want. And drag it to the bottom part. So you notice now that layer has the white background. We just click on the magic wand tool. Select the click on the white background to make the selection of the white background, and now carefully make a selection in each of the carefully make selection in each of the white spaces, so as for us to remove the white background. Now remove the white background, then Ctrl D to deselect. Now click on Ctrl T again to transform it. Reduce the icons, make it small, click on enter. Convert our tool to remove tool so that we can move it. So once you want to move anything on the workspace, always convert your tool to remove tool. So we click on the polygonal lasso tool and we make selection. Then we convert our tool to remove tool, so we can move these icons to be close to the Facebook. And after we've done that, we click on Ctrl D to deselect it. So once you want to move anything, make sure the layer is being selected. But I think this Facebook is not really close. Click on the polygonal lasso tool and make that selection again. Convert our tool to remove tool again. We'll make this move it again. Ctrl D. I think this should be better now. Then we click on the layer thumbnail to make a selection of everything, so we can change the color. Click on Control and backspace. And we have changed the color to white. Ctrl D to deselect. Now this is much nicer. So we come to our text tool. Click on to write the text. Let's say we write at BDJE designs. Then sheet up. Click on enter. Put the phone number. And then we select everything and reduce the thickness to medium and reduce the size again and change it to white as well. Always make sure it's in the paragraphs, it is center aligned, so the alignment is always at the paragraphs panel. So we click on the move tool so we can be able to move our text around. So this should be much better. Now, in some webinars, we always have like in the situation if you have like a collaboration and another company that is collaborating with us, let's say. So our company's name is Action Tech. Sorry, our brand, our collaboration name, the company that's collaborating with us is Action Tech. We always try as much as possible to increase the size. So what I just did is Control T on my keyboard. T on my keyboard, and then reduce the size or increase it to whatever you want. So increase the boldness. Okay, so this should be okay now. So this is how to create a digital marketing poster on Photoshop. It's as simple as that. So thank you everyone for joining us in this class up to the end of the class. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video so we can encourage us to create more content like this. Thank you and goodbye.